Logan Paul, the renowned YouTube sensation who transitioned into the world of boxing, is eagerly preparing for his highly anticipated comeback in the boxing ring. But bad news is coming from his corner, which might spell doom for the mega fight. An eagerly awaited face-off. Logan Paul is gearing up for his much-anticipated return to the ring as he faces off against MMA fighter Dillon Danis. The bout is scheduled to take place at the AO Arena in Manchester on October 14, and Logan is leaving no stone unturned to ensure that Danis shows up for the event. He fears that the MMA fighter still may not show up for the event. However, these doubts have been eradicated after Danis confirmed on Instagram that he has arrived in Manchester. The rivalry between Paul and Danis has become personal after some heated exchanges on social media, but there was some doubt as to whether the latter would actually turn up to fight after a recent pullout before a clash with KSI.
Danis immediately shooting for the takedown.
Both guys coming out southpaw style.
I think that he thinks he's on a pedestal that he's not really on because of the money and how long he's been famous.
Hey, you know I got props. I see Dillon got props. Hey, bro, that's creative. You come up with that yourself?
You've been begging.
No, come on.
You've been unsending and sending me messages in my inbox forever.
He's gonna talk. He's not gonna let me talk.
You sent me so many messages.
You sent me messages too. You unsent them all them.
Unreciprocated messages.
The Dillon Danis-Logan Paul beef has been well documented on social media, and the two have continued to trade barbs leading up to their fight on October 14th. Paul took to X to share a picture of himself looking in tremendous shape alongside the caption, "It's fight week." Danis took note and replied, "Juice head bitch." Just like their previous interactions and comments, the two garnered a lot of attention on Twitter, with a number of fans reacting to the exchange. The ongoing rivalry between Logan Paul and Dillon Danis reached new heights in the lead-up to their co-main event showdown on the Prime card, alongside the headline bout featuring KSI and Tommy Fury on October 14th.
Okay. Well, you just lost your prop. That was the best thing you had.
Me and him actually in the beginning were fine, and then he started talking about me, and then I was like, let's have this fight, and then it was supposed to happen, he got hurt.
To beat your business partner, and then I'll come to you.
No, come on.
Don't worry about that.
Come on, Tommy. You ain't...
In the weeks leading to their highly anticipated duel, Dillon took a controversial approach by posting pictures of Logan Paul's fiance, Nina Agdal, alongside other men, implying that she had been involved with him. These actions led to a legal lawsuit filed against the Bellator fighter, with Nina even alleging that her Snapchat had been hacked. On October 5th, Dillon took offense to Logan Paul seemingly boasting about the lawsuits and insinuated that Logan might back out of the fight due to these legal issues.
He's trying to deny the truth by suing me and trying to silence me like a Karen, like a you know? He should handle it with me in the ring.
And confess to the priest, because that is a sin that can never be forgiven.
Yeah, okay. I was just airing out public information, and I didn't realize that people were gonna latch onto it so much, and then there was just so much of it. Yeah, I mean, I think the lawsuit is so stupid, you know? I mean, it's like, I'm promoting the fight. This fight's bigger than it would ever be with anybody else.
Yo, where's Nina? Personal security.
Yo, where's your fiance?
I found the bouncer.
Where's your fiance?
Dillon Danis out.
What are we doing here, you know? Are we trying to sell a fight, or are we trying to get into a sue-off? Because I could sue him for a bunch of stuff that he said.
In a post on social media platform X, Dillon hinted at the cancellation of their long-awaited match, stating, "Logan is bragging about lawsuits again. He isn't cut out for the fight game." This fight with Paul will be Danis' professional boxing debut. Ahead of pursuing a career in the squared circle, Danis was an exciting MMA prospect before a knee injury derailed his career, and he has made no secret that after Saturday's fight, a return to the cage is on the cards. A spanner in the works. In a recent appearance on BS with Jake Paul, his brother's podcast, Logan Paul unveiled what appeared to be a cast on his right arm. He had claimed to have suffered a broken wrist while landing a punch incorrectly in sparring. The dramatic reveal aimed to entice his rival, Dillon Danis, to participate in the upcoming fight. When asked by his brother when it had happened, he replied, "A couple days ago in training. Just a punch landed wrong and I have some wrist problems. I broke my wrist in the past." He then attributed his wrist problems to a legitimate previous incident where he partook in a stunt at Jake's former Team 10 house with videographer John Marianic when they rode a tandem bike over a ramp. The message was clear. Logan was injured and fighting through pain to meet Danis in the ring. However, within seconds, he admitted that the injury wasn't real and that he was just trying to get Danis to turn up to the bout under the impression that he was hurt. It was a clever ploy to make Danis believe that he was hurt and potentially persuade him to go ahead with the fight, assuming Logan was at a disadvantage.
Dang, this is tough.
Yeah, new watch.
That's pretty sick.
What about the other wrist? What's going on there?
Broke it. Broke my wrist.
What?
I have a lot of ways to win. He only has one way to win, that's boxing. So that's all I have to say. Nah, he has a lot to worry about. I don't have that much to worry about. I just gotta worry about his hands. So it'll be exciting. And everybody's kind of seeing me exposing him for who he is.
Let me ask you, if you do show up,
Yeah.
do you think you're gonna win?
Of course.
Yeah?
I bet I knock you out. Look at your arms.
What?
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, bro.
Yeah?
Yeah, I swear to God. Like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. You are an easy fight.
But it didn't end there. To make his story more convincing, Logan recounted a legitimate incident from the past where he had genuinely injured his wrist. He explained that he had taken part in a daring stunt at Jake's former Team 10 house. The stunt involved riding a tandem bike with videographer John Marionic over a ramp. Unfortunately, the jump ended with Logan landing on his wrist, resulting in a genuine injury.
I landed a punch wrong and have some wrist problems. I broke my wrist in the past.
Is it from the bike when you broke your wrist?
So stupid, Jake. Yes, it is.
You keep saying that,
Oh, was this
and then you never show up to anything.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Oh, I'm here.
You know how long it's been since you last fought?
Off a ramp that was like 3.5, 4 feet high on a tandem bike.
Jake Paul, known for his own share of daring escapades, acknowledged that Logan had always been the risk taker in the family. From jumping out of windows for Vine videos to the tandem bike stunt, Logan's fearless nature has often led him into wild situations. Logan Paul reflected on his professional wrestling career, emphasizing that it allowed him to channel his fearlessness for a purpose. In the WWE, he could utilize his willingness to take risks for the entertainment of fans. At least he got Conor McGregor to comment on X. "Let's go, brother. Logan's broken. Broken wrist, broken heart. Pull guard and break his leg. Depending. Enjoy. Cash in time. Well done. Respect. Make the walk and you a winner." The Notorious responded to Danis and gave him some fight advice, but as it's a boxing bout, it would actually get him disqualified. Danis should have a care about who he calls friends.
Very good friend, you know. He's always been there for me, and I've always been there for him. We have a great relationship, and I consider him one of my best friends.
Can we get a prediction for the Dillon Danis fight?
Dillon's gonna win. Dillon will win.
Can Logan Paul somehow pull off a monstrous upset?
What is that? The fact that he's not using his right hand at all is quite alarming.
Maybe I'll take my time more. I don't know. I didn't really show him much because me and Conor have such different styles, so it's very different, you know.
It's clear that UFC superstar Conor McGregor is backing Dillon Danis ahead of his clash with Logan Paul. A Trojan horse versus reality. In a final admission, Logan Paul clarified that his wrist injury was entirely fabricated for content. He didn't actually break his wrist, which sent a sigh of relief through his fan base. The motive behind this ruse was to avoid intimidating Dillon Danis, who had already been making excuses for the upcoming fight. Logan wanted to ensure that Danis didn't back out of the match due to unfounded fears. As the fight date draws near, Logan Paul's mind games and willingness to go to extremes to secure his opponent's presence in the ring add another layer of anticipation to what promises to be a memorable bout. An athlete's life is marred with injury scars that threaten to end his career. While some come back stronger, others are not so lucky, and a few unfortunate ones return as mere shadows of their previous selves. That's when a fighter's resilience and willpower undergo a test. The same is the case with Logan Paul, who never shies away from putting his body on the line. Every time the injury scars try to knock him out, he bounced back strongly. But the injuries take a toll over time, and the influencer has had his fair share of injuries. Therefore, when he marks his boxing return after 2 years against Dillon Danis on October 14, there will be one worrying question. Will his past checkered fate with injuries have a bearing on the fight?
Are you able to fight?
Yeah, I'm able to fight for sure.
What did I say? I said 400K if I don't show up. I told him, I said, listen, I want this fight. And I told him like a man.
This would not be the first time the 28-year-old would have had trouble with his wrist, since he broke it on 2 separate occasions. One of those took place while he was a part of Jake Paul's former Team 10 house. He had shattered his hand a second time after hitting a punching machine in Hamburg's red light district in September 2021. Logan Paul had blamed his ego for sustaining a career-threatening injury. He had visited a bar in Hamburg, spotted a punching machine, and immediately wanted to test his punching power. Despite being in an intoxicated state and being cautioned by the manager about a column next to the machine, he went ahead with the sole intention of setting a high score. Instead of the punching bag, he hit the column. It had happened before, no biggie. However, when he broke his wrist for the second time, he was told his boxing career was over. He had also torn his MCL, meniscus, and ACL in the ring against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel 2022. His bold persona and knack for stunts have translated into a high-flying, risk-taking fighting style in WWE. As a result, he is more prone to injuries. Hence, his wrecked body might cause him discomfort when he steps into the ring against Dillon Danis. While he might have stitched back his MCL and ACL, it's his wrist problems that might cause some trouble in the ring.
Either the Pauls or Nate Diaz or someone like that. I wouldn't just fight anybody because I just do MMA, you know.
I did exactly what you said.
I told you.
But, you know, it's never personal, it's just business. So I go in with that mindset.
I see you
I'll let you start on my back. I bet you can't choke me
I see a
out.
jiu-jitsu guy getting choked out by a bouncer.
And now my hand, bro, my hand. David, look at it, bro.
Oh, he did.
Oh, he's done.
Very heavily here. You know, if KSI is fully conditioned and he can go hard.
A wrong foot, bad landing timing, and it might be all over for him in the squared circle. Besides, he has yet to test his wrist and the power he packs behind it. Whether the wrist injuries have affected his boxing skills or caused him discomfort in training is not known. Accordingly, it's hard to predict what kind of performance he will turn in this coming Saturday. Will he go for the sleigh despite being aware of the vulnerability of his body and especially his wrist? You can bet he will give it his best, even though his weakened wrist might just turn out to be his Achilles heel. That's all we have for you, folks. Join us next time.